Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my review of the Sennheiser HD 599 headphones. I just got them. They're going to be like my first thought. I mean, I've been using them for a day now, and I just thought I would give you my first impressions. I've been using, oftentimes I use, cheap earbuds like your Skull Candies or whatever you have laying around, Panasonics, plug them in the phone and go. Sometimes I do a lot of work on my desktop though. I'll plug them in there, and after a while you just get used to that's being the sound. That's the way it is, But I do my own music composing and producing, and, you just can't really get by with that. So now, before in the past, I've used these too. These are the HyperX. So like, you're talking earbuds are what, $20-ish, something like that, somewhere in the range of that. These, let's just say around figuring like $100 range roughly, and these were okay mainly for gaming because they do have the microphone, the HyperX, the Kingston HyperX. They had pretty good sound, and the microphone was good, so that's what you want if you're gaming or whatnot. These had the metal. Now of course the Sennheiser has the plastic, but look at how that actually rotates almost quite a bit. So as far as the build, like compared to these are a little bit lighter, you can tell. With the leatherette, the problem that you see, if you can see it here, is it's basically all flaking off over some use, And the thing with this is like the leathery type of stuff. This gets a little sweaty, it seems like, over time. I mean, I don't think I sweat more than the regular person or anything, but, it just that kind of material is going to be like that. I do like, on the Sennheiser, this is kind of a velvet kind of feel, like a soft, plush, nicely, adequately padded, I would say. These feel good too, but I just think that this is going to, Sennheisers will definitely be less as far as sweaty, let's just say. It's not going to hold the moisture against your skin, I would think. Now up here you've got plenty of padding, and this eventually I'm sure will deteriorate, but right now it feels really nice. I see, some people might say, well, it's plastic. I did like, okay, the reason we really liked these was Ben spent a lot of money on Razors, Razer headphone, for gaming. The Razors were about, just say, $100, I think, roughly. But they were all plastic, and it snapped right here. So that's why we thought, oh, these are really nice because they have some metal, And these really did last. I mean, you can tell from the wear on them. Everything's peeling. These have been used a lot, but I will say another thing, the Sennheiser, at least they don't scrimp on the cord. That really is what's annoying on the HyperX. It's like, come on, when you're spending that kind of money, at least give you a decent length on the cord. Am I right? It's like, these have a humongously long cord. I would say my only gripe is, and this is just so you know, like, if you've never seen these before, they have the standard, like, guitar plug, right? Whatever, 1/4 inch, whatever we used to call it back in the day. And, of course, that's not going to fit into anything that you have, unless you're, like, doing pro stuff, I guess. And so then, they give you the adapter, but there's still a sizable chunk of weight there, you know what I mean? Whereas I think they would have been better off ahead for the main market is to do this, put the 3.5 inch, and then give you an adapter up to the larger one. So make this as the standard and this the adapter, but whatever, they did it this way. Now I guess you can get different colors on Amazon or whatever. I mean, I'm not that big on the colors. I'm more into the sound. Let's talk about the sound. I mean, that's what you're really buying them for, is the sound. So, as far as comfort, I mean, they are comfortable. They are a little bit lighter, like I say, than the HyperX. I'd say they're, but the sound is good. The sound, to me, compared to even like the HyperX, they're louder, but it shouldn't, I mean, loudness, a lot of time your brain perceives that as being better. But so like I tried to drive them equally, as far as loudness, and what I found that I like best about these, I mean, obviously tone's good, and you can EQ everything to your ears or what have you. But what you can't really change, in that these seem to do really well, is positioning. As far as left and right, separation, I think they have really nice separation. And not only left to right, but also front to back, fore to aft, say. So like spatial sound, spatially on these, I would say is superb. Like say I even produce my own music, and you get used to hearing it on something else. And it's like when you hear it on this, it was like, whoa, that's really nice. That's a switch. That's a change. I'm not used to hearing it like that. Then you put on some of your favorite tracks and this and that. It's like, oh, that's really nice. So I'm not an audiophile at all. Obviously, if you're an audiophile, you know more about all the technical details, and you're going to have your own opinions, and that's fine. You might want to spend a whole lot more money on them, and that's fine. I mean, to some people, money isn't an object, doesn't come into play. But to me, even if I could afford more expensive ones, I mean, there's always, opportunity costs. If you spend extra money on headphones, it's not going to be extra money that you can spend on some other fun hobby parts that you wanted to do, or whatever your case may be. So there's always, to me, money always comes into the decision. And you can't necessarily say, well, this $300 or $500 pair, it sounds better. Well, that's great, but is it that much better? And you could even have the argument with these, between the HyperX and this, are these $50 more better? I would say so, just from hearing them side by side. But I would say personally, for me, right around $150, that's my top edge that I'm going to be willing to spend on some cans. It's like, I'm not, mixing for a living. It's not my life. I enjoy how things sound good. I can appreciate it, but I don't want to spend, a whole ton of money on it just because, it's like, I'm not going to take these in my pocket, obviously, and use them. I'm still going to be using earbuds some, especially like if I'm working around, you're still going to just probably pop in the earbuds, have your phone in your pocket or whatever. You don't want to, be wearing these and probably be bending over, or maybe if you're jogging or something, so it's like, you have to think about your budget. Are these going to be, to me, they come into that sweet spot right around $150 for something that's quality and that's going to last. I think it's worthwhile. Now, I'm not sponsored, obviously, by Sennheiser. I wish I was. I'd love to review other headphones, or you don't mind spending some money for something that's going to last. I think these are going to last. I should say, like, I bought Bose speakers before in the past, and I mean, they are ancient and they still sound good to me. I mean, I more than got my money's worth out of them. I think these will do that. They definitely made me smile. Just hearing things, it's like kind of like going from black and white to color. I mean, if you go from $20 earbuds to these, it's definitely like going from black and white to color. It's like, wow. Going from like the HyperX to these, it's noticeable as far as, like I say, the whole positioning of the instruments and how it all comes together. I know it's not technical. I mean, it's so hard for me. It's like trying to convey taste is like color, like trying to describe purple to somebody that's blind or something. It's like trying to describe sound. You know, a lot of it comes down to personal preference. You know, there's people that like CDs, there's people that like vinyl, and you know, it goes beyond just like what machines can say, you know, as far as a peak range and a bottom range and how all those interact together. That and how it affects and works with your ears. I think there's definitely, so I don't think people are being dishonest or so if somebody says one pair of decent quality headphones sounds better. I think it's to them than say another pair, and a lot of it is how the sound is interacting with their particular ears. I mean, I'm not a young guy. My ears aren't as good as they were when I was 20. I'm sure of that. So, like, you know, I just have to work with what, just like everybody, you know, you have to work with what you've got at that point in time. And to me, I think these are a pretty good value. They sound good. You know, I don't think you'll be disappointed in the sound. Now, I'll probably do a follow-up in 6 months of daily use or whatever and see, you know, if they held up. I'm hoping they do. I think they're going to. But I'll be sure to make a follow-up either way. I will say if they hold up as good as the HyperX did, I'll certainly be happy. I'll think I've got my money's worth, so... I guess, like, I wish I'd known, like, I think Black Friday, these things were, like, right around $100. If you can get them for $100, I'd say that's definitely a great deal. $150, you know, you're paying, say, full price, but you're getting some decent quality stuff for that much. I mean, that's my... I guess I'm going to give them, like, the old guy's thumbs up anyhow, you know. Until something goes bad with them, or if they just sounded absolutely, you know, if they were painful. They're very comfortable to put on, and I don't know. To me, they just hit me right, but I mean, like say, everybody's face is different, everybody's tolerances are different. I'm not too picky, you know, but I just want something to work. I mean, to me, I like a decent length of cord. I want something that's not going to fall apart. I just want something that's going to sound decent. Everything is there, you know. You've definitely got bass. There's probably more bassy headphones, but I'm not like a person that's dying to get blown away by the bass, you know. I don't want it to muddle up and hide everything else that's in the mix. So I think these present everything clearly, unmuddled. You know, sometimes you hear sound and it's like, just, it sounds loud, and it's not just because it is loud, but it just sounds muddled. It's not separated. Things, it's just a wall of noise coming at you. And that to me is not, I like to somewhat be able to differentiate between the sounds, the different instruments, where they're at positionally, in kind of, you can close your eyes and kind of get lost right in the mix, and you know, and you're hearing everything in its proper position and space. And you know, for example, some songs I was listening to, and with the HyperX, it's like, okay, you hear this part, and it's like a boom, 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 so it's present there. But with these, you could actually hear that it was being panned back and forth, left to right, whereas the HyperX, you know, it was just present, say, in the center, but you didn't get that. So it's just little things like that. You didn't get the panning back and forth. So, you know, if those things are important to you, if you're into music and enjoying it, it is, without breaking the bank, these seem to do the job. That's my opinion. Let me know if you guys bought them and you dislike them for whatever reason. I appreciate the interaction. That's what I think is great about YouTube, is people being able to say, no, I bought them and they just sound whatever, they only lasted a month and the cord was bad, or, let me know what you guys think. Let us all know. I enjoy reading, and other people can see your thoughts. So anyways, I appreciate your view. I appreciate your interaction. Till next time, we'll see yous.